Today I'm going to teach you exactly how to make a profit with each way betting. I quite often get asked what my biggest source of profit is or where my biggest wins come from. And I pretty much always say that my biggest wins come from extra places on each way bets. This is mostly on horse racing, but also on the golf as well from time to time. And it's like a lot of people who are new to match betting commonly wonder where people make £1,000, £2,000, £3,000 a month, whatever. They want to know how people make the big money. Well, a lot of that comes from these each way bets. With the each way bets, you can use your gubbed accounts, and the maximum payouts are unlimited. Basically, you're only really limited to bookmaker maximum payouts. So if you've got £50 each way, £100 each way, whatever, on higher odds horses or even short price favourites, if they come in the extra place that a bookmaker is offering, you hit a massive win. Now the way this works is when a bookmaker is saying normally we pay 4 places in this particular type of race, today we're going to be paying 5 places. Or if it's a big race like the Grand National, you might get 6 places or something like that. In golf, things are a bit different. You can often get 7, 8 places being paid as well. Just because the fields are so big, obviously you're much less likely to hit the place in golf, but the payouts can be equally rewarding. So what happens is when the bookmaker offers this extra place, so say you've normally got the 4 places being paid, the exchange also has a place market for 4 places being paid. When you lay off that horse using the place market, it only covers these top 4 places. If your horse comes in that 5th place mark where your lay bet doesn't cover, but your back bet does cover, you're going to win both the bookmaker bet and the lay bet as well. So you're not just actually winning the payout from the bookmaker for hitting that place, you're getting your lay stake on top of that as well. But how do you actually do these bets, and how do you know how much to place? Well, that's what I'm going to teach you now. The first thing you need to know when it comes to each way bets or extra places is that there are 2 different bets to lay off. If you've got your £50 each way bet or £10 each way bet, let's simplify things a bit, you need to lay £10 against the win part of the race or the golf event, whatever it is you're betting on, and you need to lay £10 against the place market as well. Now this instantly seems to confuse most people who are new to it, and it's completely understandable, but it's really, really simple. Betfair or Smarkets, whatever exchange you're using, they will have different markets for the win and for the place, which makes it nice and easy. It's calculating the lay for the place part that confuses most people. For the win part, it's pretty easy. If your horse is odds of 21 and on the exchange it's odds of 21 as well, then you just put your £10 stake in your calculator, 21 odds and the commission, and calculate it as you normally would with a matched bet. With the place part, what you need to do is you need to look at the bookmaker terms for the each way part of the bet. Now most of the time you will be doing this on races that are odds of a quarter, so if you finish in the places, you don't win but you finish in the places, you'll be paid out at a quarter odds. This means at odds of 21, what you do is you take off the 1, so you get 20, divide it by 4 because they're paying a quarter odds, and then add the 1 back on. So your place odds would be 6. That's 20 divided by 4 is 5, add the 1 back on is 6. It's a lot easier to work it out sometimes in fractions, so the odds would be 20 to 1 divided by 4 is 5 to 1, which is odds of 6 as we just established. All you need to do is lay that against the place market, which will normally be around those odds of 6, and there you go, you've now done your each way bet, and that's all you need to do. All you need to do is hope that your horse finishes in that extra place now. If you're using gubbed accounts for this, you don't really need to worry too much about losing your accounts. You can place multiple horses on the same bookmaker. I wouldn't go overboard, but having 3, maybe 4 on the biggest races, but I would say no more than 3 in one race isn't completely unreasonable, especially as there's likely to be 20 or 30 horses in the race. What I do and what many experienced match bettors do is they will cover the entire field. So use as many bookmakers as you can, make use of those gubbed accounts, really ramp up the stakes. You need a big bank for the liability, but it's important to remember when you have multiple horses covered, you don't need the liability to let them all off because there's shared liability. Only 1 horse can win, only 4 horses on the market, on the exchange can place. So after that, all the liability it doesn't get added to unless you've gone for even higher odds or a bigger stake or a bigger potential win. So yeah, what we do when you're experienced is we'll cover the entire field, and then that way you're guaranteed to hit the place no matter what, and all you have to sit and wait and hope that you hit the biggest payout possible. Now this can be slightly hard to get your head around, I do appreciate that, but all you have to remember is it's two simple bets, the win part and the place part. To calculate that bet, remember, sometimes you need to check on the bookmaker because the odds could be divided by 5 rather than a quarter, and the likes of Paddy Power do this quite often. There's some other bookmakers as well that will give you a fifth of the odds rather than a quarter, and this is also true commonly with the golf as well. So if it's a fifth of the odds, you do exactly the same thing, but if the odds were 21 again, you'd divide it by 5. So take the 1 off, divide it by 5 is 4, add the 1 back on is 5. If the odds are a fifth, you will find it harder to find close matches. It's as simple as that. You basically want to be exploiting the ones that are a quarter odds most of the time. The only time really you're going to be finding good, profitable long-term matches with the fifth odds is if they're playing multiple places. If they normally play 4 places, but this time they're playing 6 or 7, then you can afford to take a bigger qualifying loss because you've got more chance of hitting the place. I hope this all makes sense to you. I appreciate it's hard. If this has helped you in any way, then please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more match betting videos, and leave a comment if you're still struggling. If you've got any questions, if you've got any feedback, let me know in the comments. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can.